Hey, what's up? Caleb with the Funnel Flow Mastermind and the reboot of the Unlimited Leads podcast. My name is Caleb Christenson. I'm a marketing and lead generation expert. And I say expert because everyone says they're an expert. I think I'm pretty good, but I'll let my results and let my content speak for itself. Today on the podcast, we are going to talk about the minimum viable marketing flywheel. You've probably heard me talking about it before, but I want to look at this concept kind of with a new light and with a special way to actually build your flywheel in one fell swoop. Now, before we go on, I would like to thank the sponsors of this episode, Funnel Flow Mastermind. Isn't that your company, Caleb? Yeah, it is. Well, they're also sponsoring this episode. Funnel Flow Mastermind is here to help experts, coaches, consultants, service providers, anybody who has something that they want to sell to other people, get more leads and get more sales in a shorter amount of time and do it in community. So, thank you to the Funnel Flow Mastermind for sponsoring this episode. And hey, if I can't sponsor my own episodes, then who will? Okay. So go to funnelflow.io/mastermind to learn more about the Funnel Flow Mastermind and sign up for their free weekly call. Okay. So let's get into it. Minimum viable marketing. Now, what is it? It's this concept that I came up with. I really visualized, okay, I didn't come up with this idea of a flywheel, right? The flywheel is a engineering, structural, mechanical thing that has been in use forever, right? Think of the steam locomotive, right? You have the wheel, right? And then you have the piston, the steam piston going back and forth, that moving an arm, all right? And that arm is moving this wheel, okay? And, and it's creating motion, right? So what is this idea of the minimum viable marketing flywheel? Now, when you hear the word minimum, I've gotten feedback before that like, why are you calling it minimum? That's actually pretty powerful. You seem to be downplaying the power of what it is. And maybe they're right. So maybe another way to look at it, it's the unlimited leads machine. The MVM Flywheel is the unlimited leads machine. Now, that's kind of a head nod to Chet Holmes and the ultimate sales machine. All right. So I'm not trying to steal his concept, but really the idea of the flywheel is to create a system where your business is always attracting leads. It's always growing its audience, and it is always closing deals. Okay. And, and so it's really the engine of your business, okay? So let me break it down to you. So the idea of the flywheel, it's you have your dream client here in the middle. Now, this is a concept I learned from Russell Brunson and from Dan Kennedy. It's getting crystal clear on who are you trying to serve. I'm trying to do what Russell says. Who are you trying to serve? What are their pain points that you can speak to? What do they need? How can you help them? Okay? Because when we speak our ideal client's language, their ears perk up, okay? I think it's called the reticular activating system. It's like your brain is always filtering out noise, but when I say, hey, Caleb, hey, Stacy, my wife's name, we're in a crowded room, all right? Our ears pick up on that, okay? So when we speak to our ideal client, their ears perk up. Otherwise, we're just noise. We're just another billboard ad, etc. All right, so we need to know what is the conversation going through your ideal customer's head. We start there. Once we know what's going through their head, we know what they want, we know what they're struggling with, because people invest in results. They don't buy things, right? They buy a Peloton because it's going to make them feel better. They're going to lose the weight, right? They want the community, right? The Peloton is just a tool. I don't own a Peloton, but I hear people who have Pelotons love them. My point is, you understand what your ideal client wants, and you speak to that, and you're gonna go a lot farther, okay? As opposed to talking about just your product. Chet Holmes in the book talks a lot about don't talk about your solution, talk about your customer. What do they need? What are they thinking about, right? So when your marketing is focused on that, you get a lot more attention. Okay, so we understand our dream client. Now we're going to publish a message that they're interested in. All right, so the things that they're struggling with, we're going to publish blog articles that resolve them, that give them tips, that give them tricks. All right, my ideal client struggles with lead generation. They know they have an awesome product or service, but they just don't really know how to get more leads other than just referrals. Okay? So what do I talk about? I talk about lead generation, making it simple. All right? How can you have a simple lead magnet? How can you create a webinar that people want to watch? All right? So we start to publish content about what our ideal client is really struggling with. This is all pretty simple, right? A lot of people understand these two parts. Okay? Track with me here. Now, capture. It doesn't make any difference. Your business will not grow at all if you simply become an influencer or you get a lot of traffic on your website or blog. If there's no call to action, if there's no way to capture their information, okay, they are basically just visitors on your land, which doesn't help you so much. Okay, you want to invite them in. You want to get to know them, right? That means there needs to be information exchange in this digital world we're living in. Okay, so that's why you need to have a capture method in order to capture their information so that you can follow up with them. Now, in order to get someone's information, you need to give them something that they perceive is more valuable than, I don't know if privacy is the right word, but their email address. Okay? They need to say, hey, I want what this individual, this service provider, this coach, this consultant is talking about more than I don't want my email address to get filled with marketing messages. Okay, so if you have something that is more valuable than that, you will be able to get the email address. Now, if you're struggling to get emails, your lead magnets aren't working, your webinar isn't converting, you simply need to increase the perceived value of what it is you are giving away. Now, Hormozi, we all love him. He's releasing his newest book, $100 Million Leads, and I saw one of the snippets on social media, and that's what he's talking about. If you're struggling to get the leads, you just need to keep increasing the perceived or actual value of what it is you're giving away to get that contact information, and then the floodgates will open. Okay? So we need to be able to capture their information. All right, so we're publishing. Now, publishing, it could be on any platform. You notice how I'm not talking about specific tactics like Facebook or Instagram or Google or even a newsletter or print ads, because this is a strategy that applies to different mediums, to all mediums, really. Okay? So it doesn't matter where you're publishing. Well, the only thing that matters is that your ideal clients can be found on that platform. Okay? And by making your message known, making your message clear on that platform, eventually it will get your ideal client's attention, and then they're into your flywheel. Okay? So first we have to get their attention. Now we need to get their information via lead capture or a low ticket offer or a consultation, signing up for a consultation, something where we can get their information. Okay? Pretty clear. Moving forward, we need to now nurture that relationship and get them to know, like, and trust us. Okay? First time you meet someone, first time you met your spouse, right? You're not immediately best friends, and usually you're not immediately in love, right? There is this warming up period that happens when you meet someone where they get to know, like, and trust you. The same thing is true online. They need to know who you are. They need to know the solution you provide. They want to know your story. They want to know your social proof.